it's just a constant, just effed up job by Matt Rule and the Panthers. He constantly just everything he touches in the NFL just goes to crap. It seems like our defenses have been great, but that has to be from Phil Snow because our offense has been so bad, and our decision making on offense has been terrible. Like I understand we lose Christian McCaffrey those years and he gets hurt. Mm-hmm. Maybe that adds another win or two to last year, but we played horrible teams when we were 3-0. It was the fakest 3-0 you could have been. And also, every time he goes in a press conference, it turns into a game of cat and mouse, basically, where he lies constantly, where he says one thing and then does the other every single time. He's like, oh, we love this guy in practice. And then 30 minutes later, we get a Twitter notification saying he's cut. And then he goes in a press conference this week and says that, oh, Brady Christensen's been taking a lot of reps at left tackle. Ike Ekwonu is a long ways away from being our starting left tackle. It's like, then why draft him?
Unbelievable.
You keep putting it's constant with Matt Rule. It's constant.
It is. It's misery. And it almost reminds me, like if Matt Rule really does handle it that way with the Icky situation, to a lesser extent, it's the James Borrego LaMelo thing. Like, yeah, I know it worked out. LaMelo's an all-star now. He should have been starting. I'm sorry. Devontae Graham, we were not a playoff team already. It's not like we were trying to incorporate him into a winning system. The Hornets sucked. Mm-hmm. And LaMelo was clearly going to be the guy of the future. And Borrego, put him on the bench, played him 15 minutes a game for the first month of the year. I think that was stupid. And if Matt Rule does the same thing, that would be to have a top, was he sixth? We drafted him sixth? I think it was sixth, right?
Ekwonu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so to have a top 6 pick in the NFL draft, and then if he doesn't play him, that's unreal to me.
Absolutely ridiculous. He has not shown one bit of why he deserves this job still. Nothing.
Zero confidence.
They're every single, even Teddy Bridgewater was coming out in interviews saying, they don't even practice red zone drills. 2-minute drills.
But he's still around somehow. Somehow Borrego got fired before Matt Rule, and I'm not a Borrego fan.
Somehow the Charlotte FC coach got fired before him, and they were given absolutely nothing, given pennies for the MLS, and they're in a playoff position, and it's an absolute nightmare. And then you have the whole thing in Rock Hill with David Tepper. It's just an absolute nightmare across the board with everything they've done. You have no hope for the future, and we keep talking about this whenever we talk about decision making in sports. It all has a big chunk of it has to revolve around hope and potential. It does.
Yep.
There's no hope anywhere for this Panthers franchise. The defense is great. If they just made a few small minor adjustments, this could be a great team. This could be a playoff team if they got the right quarterback in or the right coach in. The offensive line, they actually did some sneaky good things with the offensive line this offseason. But when you're warming up to the idea of Sam Darnold being your quarterback, you're not going anywhere. And when Matt Rule is your head coach, you're not going anywhere.
I 100% agree. And it sucks that Tom Brady came out of retirement. But honestly, it might have been for the best because at least now there's an excuse. Because if he was gone, the division was wide open. Open. You have Marcus Mariota and who's the Saints quarterback going to be this year?
Sorry, you said Saints. Jameis Winston.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Famous Jameis, Marcus Mariota, and then it would have been some bum on Tampa Bay, and then us.
And then some bum on Carolina.
Yeah, and now Tom Brady's back. But I think out of those 4 teams, obviously not now with the Bucs, but out of maybe us, the Falcons, and the Saints, the Panthers have the most potential in that division. The defense is already in place. There's the pieces are there, and nothing's being done about it.
And also, I'm so tired of seeing Robbie Anderson's crap.
It's so annoying. It's not worth it. Because if he was an all-pro wide receiver, then sure.
Exactly. And he keeps talking this big game and acting like, oh, yeah, man, this ain't worth it. Oh, nah, dog, this ain't it. All this bull crap on Twitter. Oh, I'm thinking about retiring. Cool, man. Retire. You act like you were this amazing receiver last year. You were pitiful last year. As bad as Sam Darnold was, you dropped all of his passes. I mean, he was atrocious last year.
Yeah. It's just crazy to me to see him tweet about retirement, and then 3 days later he changes his jersey number and posts it, and everybody's freaking out because he's wearing number 3 now.
It's cool, man. Every NFL player wants to retire. The second mini camp start and the second the season ends, they want to retire. Every single NFL player ever, and he just keeps talking and talking and talking until he backs it up on the field. Why even listen?
Yeah, and even if Baker comes in, whatever. I don't know how to feel about Robbie Anderson. I don't see him increasing that production back to what it was before last year.
And we gave Ian Thomas all this money. I don't know if I can talk about Panthers much more. It just Panthers piss me off more than any other sports team I love. Any other sports team I love.
To see the fall of the Panthers from that Super Bowl year and that insane defense with Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis, prime Cam Newton, to see that fall off all the way to here in such a short amount of time, it feels like is crazy.
Well, it was the one moment. We'll have an article on CarterCast.com talking about this coming out tomorrow. But the one moment where the Panthers, the entire franchise changed in one freaking play was when TJ Watt injured Cam Newton on that Thursday night game in Pittsburgh.
Yep, that was it.
The trajectory of the franchise, down the toilet. Bam, it was over. It was over right then and there. And it's been that way for the last 4 years. Just nonstop, miserable football every year. Just hopeless, false hope football every single year in and year out. Let's talk about something different in the NFL. It's just anything different. Just give me something.